I guess we all start off as kids, running free, playing, with no expectations, nothing to fear, nothing that we are defined by. We don't see what I like to call the lines yet. The lines slowly draw into our lives. First, it starts off by wanting to please your parents and wanting to be the ideal son, the ideal daughter, the ideal person that in this world could be loved. And that's where my story starts off. In between lines. Lines of who I can be, who I can't be, who I need to be, and who I don't need to be. At a certain point, you don't know what to do while being in those lines. So you step out. So you try to find what you're searching for. I know when I grew up and I started to get jaded by the world that I was living in, I caught myself searching for something. Searching for a feeling, searching for emotion. I was searching for the kid I used to have, the kid I used to be, the person I know I am that I can't be anymore because it doesn't fit inside these boxes. And our world slowly gets defined and gets smaller and smaller because we are trying to shapeshift into what will be loved. And in the midst of that, we start playing a character. I know at least I was playing a character of somebody I wasn't, trying to be loved by a world that could never love me enough. I just wanted to get the answer to why I didn't feel accepted, or why I had to be a certain way to feel accepted, or why I had to be somebody else to be who everybody else wanted me to be. And I put almost my faith, like a godly faith, on other people to make me feel the way I wanted to feel about myself. And that was where the problem stemmed. And then when people couldn't fulfill my faith, when that faith went dry and they disappointed me, I resorted to other things, and I kept looking out even more to what could fill that void and what could make me feel better about myself. So then I went and started resorting to drugs. I started resorting to alcohol. I started resorting to all these things, the lifestyle of clubbing, all these different things, to feel wanted, to feel loved, to put my faith into something that was actually gonna make me feel good about myself. You know, and that feeling of being lost, and that feeling of not knowing where to go and not having the answers is why I'm making this podcast, why I'm making this video, why I'm making this platform, and why I'm speaking on this camera. Because I know what it feels like to not know, and to feel crazy for not knowing and wanting to know. And here is a place where we don't need to know. Like, the whole point of life, I feel as though, is the journey to whatever destination you're going to. And in that journey, you're going to go through ups, you're going to go through downs. But in all of it, whether you have a God, whether you don't have a God, something is playing out for your better good. All things are happening in ways in which that you can't even understand. And something has a plan for you. Something is happening for you. Something will happen for you if you just let it. If you let go of your will, you let go of your idea that you have to have something figured out, that you have to be something, that you have to be this or that, and just sit and just be you, and just find what you want, find what that kid wants. Today is a special day for me, especially because today is my 3-year anniversary of being sober. So I've been sober like around 3 years. Well, 3 years today. And I don't know, like today is like more important to me than like a birthday or any other day, you know, in like one way or another, because this is the day that kind of like gave me a second chance at life. You know, everybody's dealt cards, everybody's dealt tribulations, everybody's dealt a bad hand or a bad card that they have to end up figuring out how to play. You know, and my bad card was the fact that I've been born with the disease of addiction. You know, I have an addictive personality, and anything that I do, I go balls to the wall with, you know. And in my family, there's a big history of alcoholics and drug addicts. So I was just going with the family tree for the most part, you know, something that was kind of destined to happen and something that was born being, you know. There's nothing I can do about what I was, you know, or what happened or who I became in that time period, because it was just destined to happen, you know. And it's hard to say because, you know, in the midst of this addiction and using the way I was using, I did hurt a lot of people. I hurt my family. I hurt a lot of friends. I hurt a lot of people that cared about me and that were close to me. And I became obviously a person that I did not want to be. And I couldn't really tell you what was going on. I couldn't really stop, you know. That's the thing. You start one, you use one time and you can't stop. That's pretty much what essentially being an alcoholic or addict is. And on this, actually yesterday, like 3 years ago, I fell to my knees. You know, I came to a point where I felt like if I don't hop off this train that is bulleting towards the wrong direction, or this highway of hell that I'm on, that is almost like driving without brakes, I will die. You know, I'll die or go to jail, or I won't be able to turn it around. I won't be able to find out who Kyle really is. I won't be able to find out who I truly want to be, or that time period. As much as I hate it, and as much as I hate to look back at it, and as much as I hate to accept the fact that I'm different than a lot of people, that makes me exactly who I am today, right? I am an alcoholic, I'm an addict, and I'm not ashamed of it. Actually, it's like my favorite thing about myself now, because I know that I can't run. I can't hide from who I am. You know, no matter what, as far as you run and as far as you hide it, it's always gonna catch you. The devil's always gonna catch you, and it's always gonna make you somebody you're not, you know? I know what it feels like to be lost, and I just want to let you know being lost is okay. And on this podcast, we're going to be talking about different topics, talking about my journey in sobriety, because today I'm in recovery. You know, I might have got sober, I might have changed everything, but I still am trying to figure out how to not try to fill this void by myself. You know, I've tried to fill it with money, I've tried to fill it with women, I've tried to fill it with sex, I've tried to fill it with love, I've tried to fill it in every single way, shape, and form. But yet it always comes back to the same things, in which I can't fill a void that I can't fill the void myself. I can't answer this question myself. I can't find my purpose by myself. I can't have these answers because I just don't have them. And I know I'm not alone in this. And I know how it feels to feel like you are alone. And I know how it feels to feel like nobody's going through the same thing that you're going through, because everybody else is wearing the same mask that you're wearing. This is a place where we don't have to put up that mask. This is a place where we don't have to act as if we're somebody else. Where we could be as wild, where we could be as free, where we could be as honest as we possibly can. Because that's the only thing that's going to move us forward, is if we step out of these lines and step towards honesty. and step into a future that doesn't sound like the picture perfect future, that doesn't sound like your parents' plan, that doesn't sound like anything that maybe makes even sense, but it's yours. And you have to always remember, and I have to always remember, and I have to always remind myself, this is my life, and I only have one life, and I have 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 70 years, or I have till tomorrow to live this life. You never know when this life is going to end. And I couldn't live one more day, and I can't live one more day acting as if this isn't what I was meant to be doing. So I'm here today, and I'm making this podcast, and I'm starting this thing in which I've always dreamed of and always wanted to help people in, and like rehabilitating our minds, rehabilitating our focus, and rehabilitating our everything that we think of, and stepping out of those lines that we're in between. And even if you want to stay in between the lines, that's steps to becoming who you want to be, to becoming the thing that maybe lives outside those lines, that lives somewhere, anywhere, and is who you're supposed to be.